Clause 712, people. Let's just review where we're at the moment. We're in clause 7, which is all about support. And the first thing we consider in support is our resources. And the first resource we're going to consider are people. Imagine on a Friday evening, you have a big production company. And every Friday evening, or on this particular Friday evening, all the employees to go over and they unbolt the lathes and the drills and the welding plants. And they take it home for the weekend for to do a job at home. There'll be a mad panic in the organisation for the resources to be taken out and taken away, and the guarantee that they'll come back again on the Monday morning. That's what happens with people. Organisations, we assume that when people leave, these resources, critical resources we have, when they go away, they're guaranteed to always come back again. And there's a certain confidence that this happens, because historically it's happened. I'm talking about people being treated like, you know, like resources, critical resources. Now, the clause is saying two things. It's saying, first of all, we treat people as things or something that needs to be measured and needs to be administered in a scientific way, a management way. No matter how polite we are, how fair we are, how much egalitarian there is, how much respect there is with people, with you, and if you're an MD or your employees and everything else, we still have to have a scientific, a management approach to these human resources. And the clause, let's just read it first. The organisation shall determine and provide the persons necessary for the effective implementation of its quality management system. By the way, quality management system, again, just means the running of the business, and the operation and control of its processes. And what it's really asking us, it's not explicit here, the consideration here is, because we're still at a strategic level. It's not for running the organisation or the operations processes next week, the week after, the week after. It's strategically, right? What people do we need? What human resources do we need at a management level, at a skilled level, at a labour level? It is for the safe and secure running of the business. It's not enough to just say, well, like we look at all the employees now, this is what we need, that's what we have. And we can tick a box and say we have all what we need. Are there any single points of failure? Is there one person performing one key skill or has access to some particular knowledge that nobody else has? Because if that person would get sick or leave, then you could have a complete crash of the smooth processes of the business. Or supposing it's there, I've come across this before, more than once. It's where there's a certain smugness with an individual who holds particular knowledge, has expertise that nobody else has, and can behave like a prima donna, much to the detriment, creating a poor environment that you get onto later on. So this thing about treating, we need to treat people as human resources. Yes, fairness, equality, ethics, and everything else. We get a scientific approach of what's needed. Later on, this will dip into 716, which is about organizational knowledge. And with the people you have, if you have something that's where somebody can be trained up in an hour, a couple of hours to flip burgers and make chips, well, maybe that's not so critical that you maintain these human resources of people, because you can backfill with new people all the time. But if you're an organization that's producing, let's say, medical devices, high-tech bespoke medical equipment, whereby the individual not only has expertise in the design and build, but has knowledge of how the organization runs and who to make a phone call to for something, or make a phone call outside the organization to keep something moving, that they might have variable skills, expertise, knowledge. And so the clause is asking us to look at this in totality of this resource called people or human resources. So that's it. That's clause 712, people.